It's your final girl energy here, and I'm ready to bring you my final thoughts on this week in the squared circle. Can I pin you down for a quick conversation? I'm Emily, and I'm your host because I wrote, filmed, and posted this segment. So let's talk about it. Monday Night Raw. This was an excellent Monday Night Raw. Let me tell you, the boys were glowing. Paul Heyman. He is so extra. And, you lie, CM Punk isn't there. Maybe Paul needs to pay more attention. I do love me some Braun Breaker in his black on black. That said, does he look sprung? Does he look committed to our visionary, our revolutionary, our Seth freaking Rollins? All right, in other Monday night news, Penta qualified. We love it. Finn, you can make all the faces you want. Chad, we all know what you've been up to, but Penta is going to Money in the Bank. The New Day came out in some outfits. They were outfits. However, they did take the match. And one Hollywood superstar, Liv Morgan, made her return to Monday Night Raw. And let me tell you, I think the entire Judgment Day should be a little concerned. Dominic, Roxanne, Finn, what have you been doing? Carlito, we know you're just there for the apples, and that's okay. And Raquel, we're a little worried about you too. Honestly, Liv Morgan, our trailer trash queen, has got a bone to pick, and God help anybody who stands in her way. Now, I think we all know what I'm going to say. He's a visionary. He's a revolutionary. He's Seth freaking Rollins, and he's going to Money in the Bank. And this final girl hopes he takes it all. I love the Seth Rollins storyline, and I am eating it up. I'll tell you what else we need to discuss. NXT Battleground was incredible. Historic. Trick Williams taking the TNA Championship from one Joe Hendry. Could have knocked me over with a feather. This week, NXT saw more history with the return of the all-ego era and the loafers that don't have any socks. Also, Ethan gave Ricky Saint some dental work that I will not soon forget, and I don't think that he will either. Ew. That said, we have a new NXT champ, and it is all-ego Ethan Page. We also saw our boy Tony D sit down with Luca. Thank goodness Luca wasn't busy defending our rightful champion. And took the time out of his packed schedule to sit down with Tony D. Okay? Now, I don't know if you saw Battleground, but Luca really messed with Tony D's correction of stacks. I say correction because we all know he didn't want to do it, but he did what he had to do. Tony looked at Luca and he said, "What? No calls, no texts. I thought you were dead in a ditch." Luca said, "Who, me? I thought we were laying low." Tony D caught on that that was a little suspicious, and we'll see where we go from here. Another group that's having some infighting is the NQCC. Now, will Charlie Dempsey, king of the facial hair that ever changes, allow one baby Randy Orton, Miles Osborne, to quit the NQCC? Will he give him quarter? We don't know. We're going to find out next week when they do a rounds match. Charlie Dempsey's pretty good at rounds matches. If I were Miles, I would be a little nervous. The son of William Regal is no one to play with, to be honest. Now, we did meet someone new on NXT, and I got a little bit more excited for Worlds Collide. One Mike Santana, TNA's Damian Priest, came out, and Mr. Superfine Santana whooped Tavian to none but Tavian's surprise. He will challenge next week for the title against our very own Trick Willie. I like it. We were also introduced to Jasper Hale. I say introduced because if you haven't kept up with LFG, you may not know that he is of LFG fame, and shucky ducky quack quack, he whooped Ethan Page's first victim, Mr. Chin. I can't wait to see where Jasper Hale is going from here. LFG was an excellent show, and a lot of you have shared your favorite wrestler, something I always love to hear, and Undertaker did take the win on LFG. All right, moving on. My girl Tatum. Breaking my heart. She was carrying the dolls of her long-lost friends with her. She had a match with Miss Jada Parker, who thinks it's okay to touch other people's toys, and ended up taking the win. That said, I did see my girl Tatum being comforted by Sol Ruka and Zarya. Solbrook is coming off an incredible win at Battleground, but still willing to offer her time and her effort to Tatum Paxley. Unfortunately, the creepers from the culling were sneaking around behind, clearly scoping out our all-time champ, Tatum. I say all-time champ because I'm manifesting. Now, for the most difficult update of all, La Primera, Stephanie Vicaire, lost the NXT Women's World Championship. And I know what you are thinking. Jordan Grace? No. JC Baby Bangs Jane took the championship. Stephanie, I am eternally giving you devil's kisses in the face of your devastating loss. I know that Fatal Influences JC Jane will have a short-lived reign as the NXT Women's World Champion. And hopefully, this move might see Stephanie moving up the main roster like Julia. Coming up May 30th, we have SmackDown, and one Cody Rhodes, and John Cena will be returning just as HR was considering a sit-down regarding the limits of PTO time. This is their first shared screen time since before WrestleMania, and they are set up to team for Money in the Bank in a tag match. I'm sure they'll totally get along. Nothing could possibly go wrong. This will be a true best buddy comedy moment between two long-standing gems of the WWE. Bianca Belair will be making her return to Friday Night SmackDown after a hiatus following WrestleMania 41. I cannot wait to see what she is wearing or if she can find any emotionally stable friends. Bianca, welcome home. Andrade, Jacob Fatu, and Carmelo Hayes will compete in a men's Money in the Bank triple threat qualifying match. I know that Carmelo and Andrade are excited to meet in the squared circle for another bestie hang. It is my personal theory that they are probably best friends, considering they have matches more often than I go and see the dentist. Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, and Naomi will be facing off in a women's Money in the Bank triple threat qualifying match as well. Honestly, I believe that my money in this situation has to go on Miss Naomi because it is time for our crash out queen to shine. Naomi, I'm rooting for you. I will see you on Friday for SmackDown. I hope you put that SmackDown all the way down. Okay. In our WWE off-camera vibes, Obafemi dropped some seriously hot tea while he was talking trash. He said that he was going to give Stephanie Vicaire's boyfriend, Miles, a beatdown. And that he did. And that he did because Obafemi, our NXT ruler, does what he says he's going to do. But that said, I trust Oba, and I think that's reliable information. And I fear that La Primera has found a love. Miles, every one of us is watching you. For multiple reasons. You're very talented. All right. Now, other WWE news that had me gobsmacked, knock me over with a feather, is that they announced a New Orleans WrestleMania, and then they took it back. No beignets. No, we are back to Vegas for our next WrestleMania. That said, there is a behind-the-scenes Netflix special on last year's WrestleMania. I'm excited to take a look at it. I do think it's interesting that it is 2 hours long. There's also a new Netflix series coming out with behind-the-scenes footage of the WWE universe. I don't know about you, but I am taking that with a healthy dose of anxiety, but I probably will watch it. In other news, Triple H, please let me sleep. This week, tensions are escalating across the brands. Money in the Bank is approaching, and meaty men smacking meat season is approaching fast. Alliances have formed. Rivalries are intensifying. Stay tuned. As Worlds Collide approaches and things become a little more chaotic in our WWE universe. I can't wait to see what, if any, energy one El Grande Americano, America's greatest luchador, will bring to the Great American Bash. Now, thank you for joining me for my inaugural episode of Final Thoughts on the Squared Circle with me, M, your final girl. I'd like to leave you with a final girl energy affirmation. Remember, in the WWE universe and in life, the boos mean you're doing something right. Until next time, WWE fans.